Is the suppressor out of frame now?
Yes.
In
So
frame?
like right here. So top of head's like right here?
Yep, top of head.
Oh yeah, Samuel crucify me.
All right. Welcome back to Wiseman Company, fellas. Ben here. I got Eric.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're definitely recording, and I'm not going back. So today, we're going to be looking at the Optimus Prime. Just kidding. It's just the Optimus from Griffin Armament. On reviews like this, if I know Eric's got the same product, I like to bring him in on these reviews. I like to pick his brain. So then you're not just getting an experience of one, you're getting an experience of two. Full disclosure, Griffin sent us these for review. We've been kind of running them on different builds here. Mine's kind of like a DMR, GPR type deal, and he's running it on a dot gun, okay? So slightly different builds. Full disclosure as well, I got a Roscoe barrel in here. What do you got in there?
This is a Griffin Armament 11.5 CQB Mark II
Okay,
SBR.
so you got the same company, the same can.
Yep.
I have a Frankenstein gun with the Optimus. Eric is kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to suppressors. He knows a lot of different things. He likes to nitpick at certain things. When you're looking for a suppressor, what do you want? What are the things you want?
So for me, it's always going to be about signature. You know, one of the things that I'm willing to bite off on is weight, as long as it gives me a lot of capability, right? So for me, I'm looking at signature and tone are the two biggest things that I'm
When
really
you say
looking for.
signature, for those out there, what is signature?
So like flash, does it have a lot of flash coming out the end? That's the biggest thing, flash.
Yes. And why would somebody want low flash?
So like if you're shooting at night or if you shoot under night vision, flash is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Especially even if you are the user and you're aiming passively when you shoot and you have really large flash, it can actually be kind of distracting when you're shooting under nods. But when you turn those lights off, you go outside in the dark, it's really easy to pick out what has a high flash signature versus one that doesn't. And also, if you're training for, you know, preparedness, the last thing you want is people to know exactly where you're at. You want to kind of be able to blend into the darkness if you have to.
Okay, so for your non-negotiables, the things you just mentioned, signature, weight, things like that, what is your top price point? What's your ceiling? Because you've reviewed stuff like the RC3, which is very expensive, and it doesn't kind of perform as people would want it to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So what's like the price point for the novices out there that you're going to find, you know, the attributes you want?
I think if it's above $1,200, it's a lot. Like you better be getting some amazing, like either the gun's almost shooting like it's unsuppressed, like so, and no flash, like it's the perfect thing. It's light as a helium balloon. Like it better be doing all of those things for you if it's over 1,200. If it's not, you're essentially paying for the marketing.
Yeah, and the Optimus is coming in at what price point? I think it's like $7 or $8. I'll double check. I'll put it down below, but it's definitely below that $1,000 price point. For those of you that are familiar with Griffin cans, they generally do a good job. Like all the Griffin cans I've used have kind of met expectations. This can right here has kind of outperformed my expectations.
Correct, yeah.
What do you like about the Optimus?
So what I like is, one, it fulfills the criteria that I had, which was low signature, and it's very heavy duty just by the build. It is a 3D printed suppressor.
Right.
So like they actually have where they finished the outside of it so it doesn't look like it's actually printed. The bonus for me is the fact that it's a low back pressure suppressor, meaning there's more than just one hole at the end. And for me, I'm a lefty, so if I eat I eat a lot of gas. If I have an overgas gun, I really notice it. If I have a suppressed and overgas gun, I really notice it. So having that low back pressure, especially for me nowadays, with how much I've been shooting a lot more lately, I'm like really starting to think about my health as far as like lead levels and things of that nature. And so that is a massive bonus. Usually the trade-off has always been, you have a low back pressure suppressor, you're gonna have a lot of flash, you're gonna have a lot of signature. And for me, that's kind of like a non-negotiable. It's like, hey, I don't want low back pressure that bad where I have a ton of flash. So the fact that they're fulfilling both of those things is really nice.
The thing that stood out to me the most, the attribute that stood out to me the most with this can is how soft it is.
Yeah.
It is incredibly soft shooting. We talked about that low back pressure a little bit. I generally don't like shooting with cans on with 5.56. I think it's kind of overrated because we talked about those health concerns. I don't think you're getting a lot out of it as far as sound reduction compared to the amount of bad stuff you're inhaling and ingesting. But using this is almost, I prefer it on the gun.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it soft shooting. It does take down the sound a good bit. Obviously, it's still 5.56. That round is supersonic. But again, I'm not a big proponent of cans on 5.56 guns during the day. At night, yeah, I probably will never shoot at night without a can on. But this right here, this Optimus, has been a great addition to this rifle. Again, because it's so soft shooting, getting back on target has been so easy. Let's talk mounting system a little bit. So I have the taper mount, and that just basically screws on here like that, and then Eric's using the DUAL-LOK. If I were to suggest something, if you're thinking about a Griffin can, I would suggest the DUAL-LOK. Nothing wrong with the taper, but this DUAL-LOK is rock solid. It's easy to use.
Yeah.
What would you say about the mounting system?
I would say the DUAL-LOK as well. I have multiple Griffin cans. If you guys have seen my channel, you'll see multiple reviews on Griffin stuff. I've always run DUAL-LOK on all their stuff because that prevents the suppressor from backing off that taper. However, it is a higher price point. So if price point's a real big consideration for you, the taper is definitely a good option. Overall,
the can is in its infancy as far as testing goes. I probably have I took it to a barrel and hatchet class. I might have 2,000 rounds through mine. As you can see, he's got some more patina on his. How many rounds do you think you got through yours?
I'm pushing about 4 to 5.
Yeah, okay, and they've been great. Honestly, again, I'm not a big fan of 5.56 cans. It takes a lot for me to want to use one, but this has just been such a welcome addition. Griffin, this is their first 3D printed suppressor,
correct, yeah.
I think. So you're probably going to see more of that. In the general suppressor world, do you think more companies are going to go towards that 3D printed option, or do you think we're going to stay with traditional suppressors?
I think 3D printing is the future. I think one is price point. I think it's just lower cost.
Yeah.
You can kind of squeeze a lot more engineering science type of baffle and all the twists and turns they have inside of this thing. Yeah, voodoo science. So that definitely will be the future, and especially if they have higher materials and better recipes for how they print, it's going to be staying around for a long time.
Okay. Final thoughts on this, guys. If you're interested in a Griffin can, they make it really easy to get one. If you have never done a background check for a can, you're going to need fingerprints and things like that, but the way Griffin does it, you can actually order it off their website and you can have it shipped to your door, right?
Yeah.
That's the way they do it. You still have to submit fingerprints and all that stuff, but they make it super easy for you. It's a very easy process, and cans have been getting approved so quickly these days.
Yeah.
So I don't get anything by selling a Griffin can. I just really like the product, and Griffin makes it really easy for you to obtain their product. So if that was like a stumbling block or speed bump for you, don't worry about it. Griffin makes it easy. It's easy to obtain one of these if your state permits it.
Also, if you want to save some money, you can use the code BHTG15. I don't get any kickbacks. It's literally just for you to use and save some money. Save 15% on any Griffin can or product, so BHTG15.
Yep. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you want to support us, go to wisemancompany.com. We have a ton of great gear over there. It's the best way to support us. We don't take money from any other companies. We get support directly from you guys. wisemancompany.com. Eric, thank you for jumping on this video. Go take a class from Eric if you get a chance. I might be there, I might not, but no matter what, you're going to get good training. Go take a class. We'll see you on the next video.
He'll be there.